Hi, Mike Stein from the Center for Teaching Excellence. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with Canvas quizzes to create and grade a quiz in Canvas. To create a quiz, let's add it to the module. Click Modules, then click the Add Item button in the module where you'd like to add the quiz. In the drop-down menu, select Quiz. Then click Create Quiz and give your quiz a name. Then click Add Item. The quiz will appear at the bottom of the module. Click the quiz to open it. To edit the quiz, click the Edit button. In the Details tab, you can add a description of your quiz or add quiz instructions for your students. Once you've added instructions, let's add a question to the quiz. To do this, click the Questions tab at the top of the screen. Then click New Question. If you'd like, you can give your question a title. However, this will only help you in your own organization and will not be visible to students. You can also change the question type by clicking the multiple choice dropdown and selecting another option from the list. In this case, let's add a multiple choice question. You can change the number of points the question is worth by changing the points value at the top right of the question. In this case, let's set the points to 10 points. Then add your question by typing in the question field. To add options to a multiple choice question, scroll down and add in the possible options. The first answer is always the correct answer. In our settings, we'll check a box that will tell Canvas to shuffle the answers every time the student takes a quiz, so the correct answer will not always be the one the students see first. Then add in the wrong answers. When you're finished adding options, click Update Question to save your question. By default, Canvas hides the question options. However, if you'd like to see the question options, check the box Show Question Details. This will show you your question, the answers, as well as the correct answer. Now let's add another question. Click New Question, and we'll repeat the process again. However, in this case, let's add an essay question, which students will answer by typing in their answer, instead of having us put in options. Let's adjust the number of points here as well. Once you've written out your question, there's nothing else to do here, since students will be writing in their own answers. Click Update Question to save your question. You can also add a video to your quiz, which will allow students to watch a video and then answer questions about the video. To do this, let's add another new question. However, in this case, we're not going to make it a question that students are going to respond to. At the bottom of the Question Type drop-down menu, select Text, No Question. Now, you can add in an image or a video that you want students to respond to. In this case, let's add a video from MediaSite by clicking on the plugin and selecting MediaSite from the list. If you don't see MediaSite here, click View All, and then select MediaSite from the list here. Click Presentation, and then select the video you'd like to add. Click Player Only, and your video will be inserted into your question. You can add instructions, such as watch this video and then answer the next 3 questions. Then click Update Question. You can then add additional questions by continuing this process. New question, change the question type to whatever you'd like, adjust the points, and add your question. Don't forget to click Update Question to save your question. When you're finished editing your quiz, we have a couple settings to adjust before we save and publish our quiz. Scroll back up to the top and click back on the Details tab. You can now see that your quiz is worth 40 points, which is the sum of the value of all of your questions. Scroll down a bit and you'll see some options. First, let's shuffle the answers so that the correct answer on multiple choice questions is not always the first answer. You can also set a time limit for your quiz by checking the time limit box and adding in a number of minutes. In this case, I'll add 60 minutes to give students 1 hour to take this quiz. You can also give students multiple attempts by checking the Allow Multiple Attempts box and then checking the Allowed Attempts box and adding in a number of attempts. You can either give students a number of attempts, such as 3 for example, or uncheck this box and allow students unlimited attempts. You can also choose which score you want to keep. By default, it's set as highest, which means Canvas will store the highest grade in your gradebook. However, you could also choose the latest, which is the last one they take, or the average, which would be the average of all of their attempts. In this case, I'll leave it as highest. Scrolling down further, you can see a few more options. Letting students see their quiz responses will only show them if they got the question right or wrong, but will not tell them what the right answer was. If you'd like students to see what the correct answer is, you can check this box, which will allow students to see what the right answer is. However, you can also delay this by adding in a date here. This means that students will be able to see which questions they got right and wrong, but will not be able to see the correct answers until September 30th. You can also opt to have students show one question at a time. However, if you're inserting videos in your quiz, like we just did, it's better to leave this off so that students will be able to refer back to the video as they answer the questions. Finally, let's add a due date to our quiz. In this case, let's make our quiz due on September 27th. Now let's save and publish our quiz. In order to grade the quiz, we'll need to take the quiz first as a student, so let's go into Student View. This is how your students will view your quiz. Click Take the Quiz to take the quiz. Now that we've taken the quiz, you can see that Canvas has already graded the multiple choice questions. However, it has not graded the essay questions, and we'll leave that up to the instructor to grade. Let's do that now. Let's leave Student View and click Speed Grader at the top right of the screen. You can adjust the points even for the multiple choice questions by typing in the box here. However, in this case, it was graded correctly, so I'll leave it as 10 points. In the essay questions, we can grade the points here. I'll give the student full credit for this answer, and I can add additional comments per question if I want to. Then we'll grade the last essay question. Canvas automatically sums up the questions and gives the student the final grade. Click Update Scores to update the scores of this quiz. You can now see that the grade up here has changed to 40. You can leave global feedback in the assignment comments over here on the right. You have now successfully created and graded a quiz in Canvas.